anything here with Hybrid Heaven. God is it, 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 God is it. How's the volume now? Is that better? Okay. Probably avoided some horrible catastrophe with that. You keep an eye on these volume levels, make sure it doesn't glitch out on me. Anyway, yeah, this is probably going to be the last stream for Hybrid Heaven here. I have tried to move myself along a little bit further in the game. I think the main issue I keep saying, I really appreciate this game. I do think it's a good try, and it does a lot of interesting things, but I really just gotta say, trying to play it, it's kind of a slog. I think this battle system is interesting and different, and I've never seen anything like this before, and there's a lot of things in this game I've never seen anything quite like it, but I guess that's why nobody talks about it, is it's just not that interesting to play through the game. That's all it is. Even getting to the point where, like, wow, this is like literally is like a wrestling game. Like, there's literally characters, you and your enemies are both doing like pile drivers on each other and like submission moves like Boston crabs and stuff. But this sort of like do this, go through the menu and go through the menu and select your move and everything. Do it in a more typical RPG strategic way. It just doesn't strike me as that interesting to do it this way. Every fight is really, really long and really, really drawn out. Because there's all this, okay, move around and wait for my thing to recharge so I can get a shot in on him. And I think a lot of people might actually see this and find this really interesting. To me, it's not, and that's why I'm not that much further in the game than I have gotten outside of doing the streams, and that's why I don't seem to be putting a lot of thought into this. And I think that's the other thing about this. The other issue is that I've fought a bunch of different types of mutants and everything, and you know, I've fought this big man guy a couple times like that. He does always do the same thing where he uses an item on himself and he charges up his attack. Oh, okay, he's got like some pretty intense attacks and I gotta watch out for that. But even like looking at the guide, I have not retained any sort of information or managed to sort of identify any difference in the enemies, which is a huge, huge issue to me. I don't think that's very good. That I've fought a bunch, I remember what they look like, could not tell you any sort of particular strategy to have about one or the other or anything like that. I know don't get hit with a fucking pile driver because it puts you out for a crazy long time. So, you know, shit like that starts to happen, and I might actually get killed by this thing because he hit me with a pile driver, and you can't get him, you just lying here waiting for him to do a fucking move on you. Which is like a wrestling game again. God, that's frustrating, like I don't really understand the sort of reasoning behind when I can do combos or when I can do this move or that move or anything like that. That, again, sort of frustrating, like I don't really get the game. I don't really get the battle system. I don't get the sort of differences between enemies or anything like that. So that's someone with a bigger, you know, mental capacity for this type of game might figure that out, might get into that, and might find this game to be extremely engaging, and I understand that, but I cannot tap into any of that. That's my main issue with this game, is it's trying a lot of things, but it doesn't really grab you with any of the things that are different and show you, like, it's not intuitive, it's just different for the sake of being different. And some people might still appreciate it, but I don't. I hate to sound like I'm ragging on this game because I don't appreciate it, but yeah, to me, it's boring, and that's a shame. And I think that's probably to a lot of people it was boring, and that's why people don't really talk about it. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm glad to be getting a bunch of items in here, and I need to probably run back to that save point and recharge my health and save again. I haven't really been able to do that, but I think that's probably doable right now. Oh, and also, like, I'm into the third chapter. There's like 8 chapters of this game, and 1 and 2, I was like, okay, this game's not terribly long. It's pretty short. Looked at chapter 3 in the guide, and it's like 3 times as long as any other chapter or most of the other chapters, and I'm like, oh no, yeah, this is like, this could have come across to me as like a really short game, and I would have been able to, you know, push through it. But I like looked at how many chapters are in this 3rd section of the game, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want that. I'm not doing that. Let me see. Yeah. So like, level 1, it has 3 sections. Level 2 has 2 sections. This one has 6. And then the next couple, they have 3 and 2. And then level 6 has 7 sections in it. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, this game gets really long at certain points. It's not, just at a glance, it's not, oh, there are 8 chapters in it, and I've already done 2 of them. I'm a quarter way through. I'm like a very small percentage of the way through this game, and I'm already getting bored, and that's not a good thing at all. So yeah, this is gonna be the end of. Oh yeah, so okay, who's this dude? Have I fought him before? I don't think I have, but will I learn anything about him? Not necessarily. The only thing that I've really learned is that if you're fighting human characters, a lot of times the human characters have guns and they'll just shoot you if you're on the other side of the arena. So that's always great. So I can't like try to actually stay away from them, because then they'll just whip out a gun and shoot me in a way that I can't defend myself. I can like step to the side, but largely it's like, okay, yeah, you're really screwed now. That's the opposite of the way that I said to step. I don't know what the fuck that was. That's more like it. Maybe I'm at least glad that this thing doesn't have tremendously strong punches. Get this step. Grab it. See what we can do with it here. Snap there takes 65, so doing a little bit better there. But I also really charged up a lot, so. That ain't better. It was 63, so the throws are doing okay. You're gonna attack me. Again, you like were in the middle of stepping. I wanted you to go the other way, but that's good. So okay. I was gonna say I kicked his leg out from under his leg, but would have slowed him down. But I just beat him like that, so that's not bad. Okay. But yeah, what? Like, this could be on me, but what strategy was involved in that ended up being different from a lot of the other fights? I don't know if even if I fight another one of those things, I haven't really retained or learned anything about it. That's not great. The thing that I was thinking about that this game actually is reminding me of, like tone-wise, and let's see if I can actually just see what's in this room and run around this thing. I don't actually have to fight it. Yeah, there's nothing else in here, so I'm just gonna leave the room. Continue down this side of the hallway. Get on the ladder. Oh, okay. The ladder goes up. Or does it? Okay, it doesn't go down. I'm not getting the camera. Like, it looks like it goes up, but then it just cuts off. But there's no opening. But there kind of was. I just couldn't tell. The game that I was thinking about that this kind of reminds me of, both on a quality level and a tone and everything, was it actually reminds me of Fighting Force 64, which I played fairly recently. And I enjoyed that game. And I'm not enjoying this game. I'm trying to appreciate it, but I'm not really enjoying it. And I think the thing about this and why it reminds me of Fighting Force so much is because it's got a similar like graphical style. It's got, I don't want to say a similar setting because I've literally spent this entire game in this fucking underground base that is starting to look completely identical to itself, even though I've gotten through 3 chapters now. I'm in my 3rd chapter. But Fighting Force had that sort of like like very near future and everything's corporate, whitewashed, everything like that. It's kind of the thing. It's, you know, just taking you to Streets of Rage to Fighting Force to a port on the N64 of the same game. And this one is also, you know, not too distant future, blah blah blah. Corporate bullshit, you know. I'm just gonna go past you. And what I was thinking about is, I think that those games are on also some pretty similar quality levels. Like, I think I probably gave Fighting Force a 6. Because it's a beat 'em up, it's not particularly innovative, it's not, you know, it's not Streets of Rage in the sense that, like, oh man, just the most refined and polished example of that. It was like an okay attempt at bringing that literal Streets of Rage beat 'em up to 3D. And it's fine and it's playable and I enjoyed it. But it's not anything to write home about. And I think this is on a similar level because if you break down all the mechanics, there are things that you've kind of seen before and they're just presented in a different way. And I think people would see this game as similar quality to Fighting Force. I don't even know where I'm going anymore. I've like just going in circles at this point because everything looks the same. And there's all these doors. I guess I'm gonna fight this guy just for the sake of doing something different and breaking this up. I think someone would enjoy this game if they're more into RPGs, because it may not do anything really crazy interesting, but it's good enough that you like that sort of game, and it's you know, feels a little bit different. It doesn't feel excuse me. It doesn't feel all that identical to something that you played before. So you'll get through it and you'll be like, yeah, it was alright. But for that exact reason, I will finish Fighting Force, but I won't finish this. Because I don't, like, when I'm not doing the stream, I don't want to pick it up and play a couple chapters of it, because it's just not that enjoyable to me on the whole. And so this is sort of the last, like, review. I know the first video I did, I really didn't do anything. We just kind of, like, dipped our toe in the water because I had been presented this game, and I, rightfully so, was presented this game, and there's nothing like it, and there really isn't anything like it, in how it combines things like this. But I also ended up being like, yeah, this is, I kind of get where everything came from, and it's not stuff that is being presented to me in a super awesome way. Pile drivers, if they go for the pile driver, I'm pretty much screwed. Okay, good job just like waiting for how long to try and fight back. Okay. Oh, we going around back me, okay. Get the fuck up, sir. Anytime now. I don't... Is the combos like you really have to build up the side? So weird. Oh, I step back. Oh, I got him with the second shot though. Did I get him? Is he done? No, he's getting there. Okay. The tremendous dive backwards. Apparently, I did really, really well that fight. I got an SS ranking for that fight. That's another thing I don't really get. What is the basis for that? There's an item here. Oh, some sort. Ice shot. Okay. Is this of some importance? This looks important. Okay. Let's keep running in circles then, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. I know I've got a guide sitting in front of me, but I'm already like way too turned. Oh, there's a fucking map too. I go down this way. I did this already though. Let me see. Let me check. Oh, that's way. This is gonna be the wrong level. That sucks. Yeah, not helpful. Let's go back this way. If I could zoom this map out, which I don't think I can, so I'm pressing all the C buttons, I might actually figure out where it is and not get turned around on this, but... That's another thing about this game. I'm just like, everything is a fucking key card. It's the same key card. You just have to go find a fucking terminal every single time. Like that gets. You couldn't. It speaks to the issue of this is the same setting the whole time. Okay, we've got items, so we've got something that we haven't gotten before. Life charger. And okay, that's just a room for me to grab items from. Oh god, okay. Right on that. Not sure I was supposed to do that. So. Yeah, don't think I'm supposed to go over there. Head back this way. The fact you gotta stop and like have the thing tell you to put in the code and put in the key card every single time, that's also like, can we speed this up a little bit? Okay. Back through here, which is where I'm trying to go. I believe this was actually the room I was supposed to go. The guide was trying to tell me if you go in here, you go through the door on your left, which is probably this one. Another thing, brought this up, and I don't know if I've gone fully into it, but like, what is the point of there being a gun that has just infinite ammo that you just like have to stop what you're doing, stop looking for stuff, and just like bust it out and be like, oh yeah, you'll get shot if you don't like stop what you're doing, fire in that general direction. Oh, that's back where I came from. So, is there anything else in this big circular room? Sure doesn't. Oh, the camera is back. The one I just shot. So what else is in this big room? I mean, it's gonna have something to do with what's in the middle here, but this is just another floor of this room. Seems useless to me. Oh, set me on fire. I guess I'll toss a... Yeah. Nothing else. This is the door that I went through. Down this way. And yeah, this is big. Let's start fucking over here. I was thinking maybe, oh, like, did I just shoot something and that opens up this, that blocked, fucking laser array thing. Sort of a gate, but it's lasers. And it didn't. So let's keep trying to push the control stick all the way to 100, which is apparently the only way that he'll run full speed. I'm not fighting you again. Get away from me. Let's keep going this way. Through here? I don't think I went through here. Okay. And this is the big circuit. Yeah, this is the big circuit. Okay. So, is that square thing I shot down, was that important then, and I'm gonna go grab it, or have I already been here? Because that box is open. Oh, these are all open. Have I actually been here before? Because now everything's just starting to look the same. But I haven't gotten this one before, apparently. So. Apparently, I must have just missed it. It's up on top here. Okay. Let's keep going around this way, see if there's anything to be here. Nope, dead end. Is this where I started? Or no? This is, oh my god. Stop it. Did I go that much backwards? Okay. Alright. So, recharged health and everything like that. Apparently I went backwards to the end of 3-1. So it's 3-1 and then there would be 3-2. And I'm supposed to be on 3... I thought I'd be on 3-3. I don't know. I guess that's what I get for not playing it for like 4 days. But yeah, that's Hybrid Heaven. It's it's got a lot of things going on that I've not seen really anything quite like it. I've said that a bunch of times, but that doesn't make it good, but that doesn't make it bad either. I think you have to be really in tune with all of the mechanics that it's trying to bring together into this game otherwise to really enjoy it, and I'm really not. It's too much like an RPG, but it's not even really fully an RPG because it's got all this other stuff going on with the battle system. It's a weird combination, and I feel like even if you are in tune with RPGs, you might not really like this. It's tough. It's real tough. But mostly this game just it seems very long and very samey. I can't help but be like, I feel like I'm in the same level that I started in. Which was crazy because the cutscenes from the beginning, they seem so much more interesting than this. So yeah, Road Rash 64 is next though, so that will be fun. That'll be a lot more lively, a lot more, I don't know, adrenaline fueled, so to speak. So yeah, we'll check that out next time. That'll be fun. Thank you for watching. I hope that you learned something about this game that you may or may not have known anything about before, because nobody talks about it. So I will see you next time for that, some Road Rash 64.